Alright, oops, dropped my bottle, guys. Hold on. Give me a second here. This last module is about how all exercise isn't created equal, okay? A walk after eating hits differently and affects your numbers differently than a walk after you've been fasting for 2 hours. A walk when you wake up in the morning is totally different than a walk after you finish dinner. You know, coming out and having a light stroll around the neighborhood affects your numbers differently than coming out with a high intensity walk or even a jog. And the main reason I've learned all this is because of my CGM, my continuous glucose monitor. It allowed me to see that when I'm fasting and I go out walking, it might affect my numbers a little bit, but you're already fasting, so it isn't like there's much glucose to burn off there. But if I come out right after I ate, that's when your glucose is spiking, and that's going to make a real difference in your numbers. So try to, be smart about when you pick and choose to exercise or walk or whatever. And like I said, the intensity of your workout. If you don't have, you're not going to come out and, after fasting for 6 hours, you're not going to come out in the morning and dog yourself in a workout when your numbers are already 90, 85, 90. Just like hopefully you're not going to sit around after you eat dinner and look and your numbers are 180. That's when you need to be walking. You need to pick and choose when it's going to be most beneficial. Now, I would say there's never a bad time to exercise. But if your time is limited by work and other things, then there 100% is a smart time to exercise. Do you understand? Now, just like I said with the intensity, when your number's higher, you're gonna come out and work harder. There's been a couple times when I was first doing this and I'm watching my CGM, and for no reason, my CGM spikes to 180, 190. And I'm going out walking. I remember the one night it actually spiked because I walked up to the front office to get change for the laundry. I didn't know cold air or cold weather will raise your sugar because it raises your, I'm trying to think of the stress hormone, cortisol. It raises your cortisol. Your cortisol comes up to try to keep your body warm and shiver and all that. So it raises your sugar. I got home from a cold walk to the thing. I couldn't figure it out why. And I'm like, Claude, why am I spiking? Why am I spiking? I was freaking out. And I'm like, well, it's cold out. And I just walked up to the front office in shorts. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, if you go in the cold, it can raise your sugar. And I'm like, nah. That night, it really raised my sugar. And what I did was I went down into the little hallways between the laundry facilities. And I was down there in the storage area jogging up and down the hall. Bottle of water in hand, jogging. And it did. It brought me back down. No problems. So, just like the point of this video and this module is all exercise isn't created equal. All timing isn't created equal. Just when it makes the most sense, do what you need to do. You know your body. You feel your body. You know. Alright. This is the last video for Module 6. This is Lesson 4. And we'll see you guys in the next module.